Hello and welcome to another edition of Alien Investigations. I'm your host Steven, and joining me once again on the channel from all the way across the pond is Guillaume. How's it going, Guillaume?
Hey guys. Hey, it's going good.
So we are going to be once again playing our most beloved pastime, the X-Files collectible card game, the advanced version. We're going to be playing with all the usuals, premiere set, the Truth Is Out There edition, the 1013 expansion, and who knows, maybe you'll see a few promos along the way. But we're not just playing a standard game, are we, Guillaume?
So no, tonight we're also going to be using the X-File power rules.
That's right. And if you're unfamiliar with the X-File powers, consult pages 43 through 44, pages 43 through 45 of the X-Files Advanced Rules and Procedures Manual. So in a nutshell, the X-File powers are augmented rules that are designed to add a little bit of flavor to the game. So specifically what's going to happen is that as Guillaume and I get closer to identifying one another's X-File, the opposing X-File card is going to gain newfound abilities that are going to be used to thwart the opposing player, make the game a little bit more intense, make it a little harder for us to successfully investigate sites.
Luckily, we'll see some pretty special effects tonight.
Let's hope so. And I do want to go on the record to say that this is the third game of X-File powers that Guillaume and I have played already. In both of the previous games that Guillaume and I have played using X-File powers, Guillaume has bested me in both of them.
Yeah, I have to say I'm not feeling quite as confident with this new team and this new deck, so we'll see how that turns out. But, that's the point of the game. I think after so many games that we've played, it's good to change things up a little and to use some agents that you've never used before.
I wouldn't be surprised if in the course of this game, if I find myself just missing, Skinner, shuffling papers in the bureau, because that has become a bit of a comfort. Whether this new team functions better than the old one, that is what we're going to find out this evening. So while we're talking about our teams, why don't we go ahead and introduce our agents. Guillaume, why don't you go first?
So the first one is Agent Patterson. And to go with him, I have Agent Nimhauser. They should work well together.
Yes,
I also have Agent Rich. I have Tom Colton, Karen Kosef, who is also on your team, I see, and I have Agent Kresge, who is, I think, a staple of almost any team when you only have space for one RP agent. So that's who I'm going to be playing with tonight. So it's heavy on behavioral, mostly. So yeah, that's the skill that I will be going with tonight.
And whether or not Patterson attacks my team, that will be an interesting spectacle in and of itself. Rez is looking especially good, except for Kresge, so...
I think the res is 7, so that was my thinking behind that team.
Holy smokes!
During our last game, I only had 5 resource, and then you played sinus cavity implants, so I figure even if you played 2 sinus cavity implants, I'll still have 5. Well, excluding someone going to the hospital.
Yeah, and speaking of 5, that is exactly what the res on my team amounts to. So that right there does put it at something of a disadvantage compared to my previous team, which I'm hoping that I'll be able to offset some of the expenses by the use of Karen Kosef, being able to pay for like observation card and behavioral cards. We're working with Agent Fox Mulder, Agent Karen Kosef, Dr. Charles Burke, Detective Manners, and last but not least, Albert Hosteen. So why don't we go ahead and get started, Guillaume? So the method that I've decided to use to determine who's going to be going first, I have 2 tokens. One will be used to indicate damage whenever an agent is sent to the hospital, or negative effects beset on my agents, and the other one for indicating an agent's game effects. So, Guillaume, I'm going to put one of them in each of my hands, and whichever one you pick will decide if you're going first. So, right hand or left?
Right hand.
Right hand. You are going to be the investigating player first, and I will be taking on the role of the conspiracy player. So in that case, we are ready to go. I've got my X-File here, and you've got yours over there in your awesome playmat. So let's say we get started. Let us draw our 7.
Alright, so I have my 7 cards. I'm drawing my 3 card. I'm going to generate my res, which is 7, looking up to 12. I think I'm going to buy just 1 card. Yes, 1 card. And passing it to you to sell and buy.
Thank you, sir. I will be selling 2 cards: the 2-Lux video camera for 5, and message from the stars for 5, for a total of 10. And of that 10, I will buy 5 cards and add 5 to the conspiracy pool. Back to you.
So no healing yet. Requisition. I think now is a good time to requisition because all of my agents are in the bureau, but I've learned from previous games that if you pay for equipment right away, then you're usually left short of resources to pay for cards later down the turn once you've played Bluffs. Okay, well, I'll see. I'm going to requisition the desktop computer for 4, and I'm going to attach it to Agent 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. So it puts me down to 7. So
maybe we have gone as far as we can go, and the next advance, whatever that may be, will be made by beings we create ourselves, using our own technology.
So this equipment says discard this card to add 3 to the agent's computer skill. So yeah, the downside to these cards, there are the equipment from 1013, is that you pay for, and they had 3, which is good, but it's only good once. So you know what, I'll see. If in my mind it's not really, I always thought those cards were too expensive. We'll see. So deployment, I'm going to send everyone to the field. It's quite tricky with all of the agents. Okay, so consider everyone is there. Okay. And case assignment phase. Let's see if I'm going to do that. We are going to go to Marion, Virginia, which is behavioral 4+, and it's a result question. I'm going to be using Karen's token to pay for 1, and I'm paying 1 with my resource pool. And that's it. Passing it over to you for any bluffs that you might play.
I have 2 bluffs to play.
Alright. So the investigation phase, I'm going to send these 4 agents to the site. So Patterson, Nemhauser, 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, and Karen Kosef, Colton and Kresge remain in the field, but they are not investigating.
Alright.
So it's behavioral 4+, and I currently have 10. I have 10 because Nemhauser only contributes 1, but since he is in the same team as Patterson, then his skill is 2, so that's 10 for those 4 agents.
It works.
Let's see the bluffs.
Ready to see the bluffs? The
Yes.
first one is Detective Miles. Pay
Alright.
1 conspiracy point to move up to 2 resource points from your opponent's resource pool to your conspiracy pool immediately. So I'll be paying 1 but gaining 1. While
Okay, and I'm removing 2.
Alright. And so then I will discard Detective Miles. Ready for the second bluff?
Yeah.
The second one is Car Troubles. You may have a team of 3 or more agents moving to the same site. The team may only send 2 agents to that site, owning player's choice. Any extra agents remain in the team, but may not contribute their skills to any checks this turn. In addition, playing this card will prevent the use of evasive maneuvers card by this team this turn, should you play that card.
I will not be playing that card.
I'm going to pay 2 for that bluff because it was face down.
Alright. So I can choose 2 agents. So I'm keeping Rich and Patterson.
I'm going to play Joseph Patnick for 4. Which will take my conspiracy pool down from 9 to 5. So Joseph Patnick's game effect is that he subtracts 1 from all damage which is applied to this adversary. The long-range combat round is skipped.
Okay, I'm already preparing my damage tokens because I can't do anything to counter him.
Sorry. And Joseph Patnick has the activator of Result Site, which means he is playable at Guillaume's particular site.
So long range is skipped. So how much health do they have? 4, is that correct?
He has 4. And so because he's subtracting 1 from each of those 2 agents, that means you're going to be inflicting a total of 3, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
So that takes Patnick's health down from 4 to 1, and he will simultaneously be dealing out 4 close range combat, which he will inflict upon Agent Rich.
Alright, so
who has a health of 4 if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, so Agent Rich is going to hospital.
This is the part where I have an ambulance run past the screen. Alright, so for our second round of close range combat, Patterson is going to deal enough close range to defeat Patnick, but Patnick will simultaneously inflict a final punch, and that will inflict 4 damage onto Patterson, but because he has a health of 5, he will be remaining in the field just barely.
So yes, he remains in the field, but yeah, he has 3 behavior, which is usually good, but not good enough to pass the skill check. And yeah, unfortunately, I don't have anything to go through my deck and search for anyone or anything. So not a really successful first turn with 1 agent in the hospital and the other one barely alive. So
well,
okay, that's
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to add a little bit of insult to injury because I'm gonna play 1 more card, Lula Phillips for 1. Play this card after an adversary sends an agent to the hospital or removes an agent from the game. Place 5 tokens in your pool. So because that card costs 1, I'm going to be adding 4 to my conspiracy pool for a total of 8. Not a bad combo, right?
When I was putting the deck together, I wondered about that card and I figured no one had used it before. So yeah, it's quite funny. Well, not funny in the sense that my agent is gone, but it's good to see her finally being played. Well, I don't have any other cards to play, so do you have any other cards to play?
I do not. Yeah, let's move on to the debriefing phase.
And I have just 7 cards.
And I have 6. Yep, and with that, we'll pass it over to me, so we'll start back at the briefing phase, in which I will be the investigating player, and Guillaume will now be taking on the role of the conspiracy player. And without further ado, I will draw my free card to begin the briefing phase. I'm only going to be acquiring 5 per round, provided none of my agents have been sent to the hospital or been inflicted with a sinus cavity implant. So of the 5, 2 are going to be as a result of Mulder's effect, which is that res generated by Agent Mulder must be used to purchase cards. I'll take Mulder's 2, I'll buy an additional 2, and I'll add 1 to the pool. Thank goodness. Alright, and I pass it over to you to buy and sell.
Alright, so I'm going to be selling Kristen Keller for 3, Message from the Stars for 5, and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Palaska for 2, so that's 10. And out of those 10, I'm going to buy 5 cards, so I'm adding 5 to my resource pool. And back to you.
Thank you. So seeing as this is my agent's inaugural investigation for the game, there is no one presently in need of healing. So we will move on to requisition, for which I do not have any equipment to requisition to the team at this time. Before we deploy our agents, I will go ahead and play Hard Evidence for 2, which will add 5 tokens to my pool. Which, because the card costs 2, I'll be adding 3 to the pool for a total of 9. Okay, so for deployment, we're going to send everyone out to the field. No one is going to be staying behind in the bureau. Everyone has dutifully turned in all of their paperwork prior to leaving the bureau. Then we come to case assignment, for which the team will not actually be going too far from the bureau. In fact, they'll be taking a hop, skip, and a jump over to the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C., which is a multi-site that has the keywords multi, motive, result, behavioral, and observation. And because Karen Kosev's game effect allows for her to pay for keyword behavioral and observation cards, she will thus be using her 1 token this round to pay for that. Okay, Guillaume, do you have any bluffs for me?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing two bluffs.
We'll be applying our observation skills to this particular site. All of them have observation. Mulder has 2. Actually, no, I take it back. Kosev does not have observation, though she pays for them, weirdly enough. Dr. Charles Burke has 1 observation, Detective Manners has 2, and Albert Hosteen has 1 for a total of 6. Let's see which bluffs you have, Guillaume. Hit me.
Alright, so the first one you're familiar with, it's Detective Miles.
Very much familiar, considering the last round.
Special Agent Dana Scully, FBI, drop your weapon.
I'm with the county sheriff's department. You're trespassing on private property here.
We are conducting an investigation.
Get in your car and leave both of you, or I'll have to arrest you. I don't care who you are.
Hold on. This is a crime scene.
Did you hear what I said? You are on private property without legal permission. Now, I'm only going to say it one more time. Get in your car and leave.
All right, so I will be losing 2 from my resource
Yes,
pool.
and so I'm paying 1 and adding 2.
All right, let's see the second one.
The other one is Detective Tony Fiore. So I'm going to be paying 1 for him. Play to cause your opponent to discard 2 cards at random from his hand immediately.
What keywords does his card have?
Bluff and occult.
Oh. Ugh. Bluff and occult, you say? Okay, I'm going to play No One So Paranoid, which will allow me to gain 1 of the following effects. Adds 1 to a computer skill, negates 1 event, or discard 1 bluff attached to a site, and will be paying 5 to negate that bluff, which will take my resource pool down to 2.
Okay, well, I'm going to play Hunter in the Dark for 7. I It's a primordial creature, and its activators are conspiracy and result sight.
Primordial, huh?
Yeah.
I believe I will use one of Detective Manners' 2 tokens to call forth a witness. Oh god, it's gonna take me a while to find it. So, go get a snack while you're waiting for me to search through this massive deck. But would you care to take a guess who I'm calling forth?
Are you going to call Trebkos?
That would be a safe guess.
Yeah, so that's why I was checking, because I was not remembering if it was a 2 CP or 3 CP. It's 2 CP, so you'll be able to play him, but I figured at least one of Manners' token would be gone.
Yep. Oh thank god, yeah. I was like, oh god, just watch, he winds up being like at the very top, like he would have been the next card. Okay, so Dr. Daniel Trepkos negates 1 primordial creature with a low cost of 2. He will be negating your Hunter in the Dark. And that takes my that takes my resource pool down to 0. What else you got for me, Guillaume?
No, I don't have anything else to play.
Well, unfortunately for you, I do have one more card that I need to play, and it is Unexpected Call. Play this card to allow you to exchange resource pools with your opponent.
Well, I played it on you last game, so it's only fitting.
Indeed you did. So yes, I have learned as a result of our most recent game that this is a worthy card of including, and so therefore I actually added 2 to the deck. So I'm actually, given the size of the deck, I'm surprised even one of them came out. So probably don't have anything else to play, right?
Oh no, I don't. Oh.
Right. So with that, I will be asking either one result question or one motive question, and I think I'm feeling result is the way to go. So I will be asking Guillaume, is by any chance your X-Files result death?
No, it is not.
It is not. So pray tell, what will you be discarding in this debriefing phase?
I have to check, but I don't think I have anything to discard. No, I have 6 cards.
6 cards. As I mentioned, I have 7, and I'm thinking I will hold on to all of them. So let's say we pass it back to you, and let you have another crack at trying to figure out the burning question of what is my hidden X-File card.
Okay, so I'm drawing my free card. I'm going to generate my res, which is now 6, with Rich in the hospital. Out of the 6, I am going to buy one card and passing it over to you to sell and buy.
Thank you. I will be selling 2 cards, X-Files Research for 2 and Shotgun for 6, for a total of 8. And what am I feeling here? Got 8 in the pool, so it's not too bad, but I'm thinking I will buy 2 cards and add 6 to the pool for 14. I did draw a blue plate, so I guess I'll go ahead and use that now. Blue plate special, for those of you who are unaware, allows me to flip over the next card in my bureau deck. If that card is playable this turn, you may do so for 0 cost. If you do not play it this turn, move the card to your discard pile. So in order for me to play this card, or even to have a chance of playing this card this turn, it must be a conspiracy card. And it is a Bluff card, actually, and one of the new ones that I've added to the deck, Philosophical Question, which I will play this card to increase the cost of all resource cards played at this site by 2. So I will be holding on to that one for now, with the prospect of playing it at your forthcoming site, should you have one.
Okay, so moving on to healing phase. Reach heals 2. Requisition, no requisition. Deployment. I'm going to remove him from the hospital, since he now has a health of 2. For case assignment, we are going to go to Olympic National Forest, Washington, which is an evidence collection 4+ and a result question.
Not one of those men was ever found or heard from again.
And you suspect what? Bigfoot?
Not likely. That's a lot of flannel to be choking down, even for Bigfoot. Come on, Scully, it'll be a nice trip to the forest.
And I'm going to be using Richie's token to pay for 1, and I'm paying 1 from my res. And yeah, up to you to play any bluff.
Yeah, I do have the 1 bluff here, which you already saw, but might as well put it face up since you already know what it is.
Okay. I'm sending everyone but Kresge.
Okay. I'm going to play 1 Breath, which is a purple card, which means it can be played during either by the conspirator or the investigating player. So play this card to search through your bureau deck and add any 1 event card to your hand. Show your opponent which card you have added, shuffle your deck. So now I'm going to search through my deck rather than try to think what card I was thinking I might.
I think it's the first time that I've seen 1 Breath being played during one of our games.
Yeah, yeah, I only have 1, and other than what's in my master set, and it's been in my deck for on and off. But this is the first time it's actually come up. Okay, so with 1 Breath, I have pulled Evidence Destroyed, which will allow me to negate 1 keyword evidence collection card. And this is the part where you hit me with a frohickey.
Well, as much as I would love to.
You don't have him yet?
Or I can't pay for him because you have the bluff that increases the cost by 2.
That is true. Yep. Yeah, so he would cost, what does he normally cost, 3?
Yeah, it would cost 5.
Yeah. Whew, that bluff is actually proven useful. So yeah, I guess including in the deck did actually work out. Seemingly. We're not out of this round yet, but...
Oh, I can't negate that card.
You can't negate it? Whoa,
No.
So this right here...
This one, yeah. As much as we talk trash about the 10-13 bluffs, you know, they did prove to be useful.
So with that, it looks like your trip to the forest has been put on
cut short.
That might be I forgot to pay the 4 for that card, so that takes me down to 10.
Okay,
Yeah,
but it's quite good. That's 2 new cards that we've seen this round.
I'm telling you, the reason this deck is so tall is because there are a bunch of cards in here that I have not used. So I don't tend to usually explore evidence collection too much, most of the time because my team kind of lacks in it. Thank you, Albert Hosteen, mostly. The Conundrum's a better choice because it's cheaper if you play it face down, whereas this one, you know, you're paying the whole cost of it.
Debriefing, I only have 7 cards.
Alright, and I have 5 in my hand. Alright, so I will plan on holding on to all of them. At this time, we'll pass it back to me, and let's see what my new team can do as far as investigating another site, preferably successfully. So at this point, I'll add a token back onto 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, and I will draw my free card. I will get 2 for Mulder. I will buy 2, and I will add just 1 to the pool.
I'm going to play Blue Plate Special right away. Well,
What'd you get?
it's useless. Okay, Deceiving the Flock, which is basically free when you play it face down, so
Yeah.
that's not a good use of Blue Plate Special.
Not fantastic.
No.
Alright.
I'm going to just sell Fingerprints for 2 and Los Angeles, California for 1, so that's 3. And I am going to buy 2 cards.
Alright, I'm gonna play Friend in the FBI for 2, which you're well familiar with that card. Play this card in the Bureau, place 10 tokens on this card. During your briefing phase, you may take up to 2 tokens from this card and place them in your resource pool. The tokens become resource tokens. When all tokens have been removed, discard this card. So I'll put 8 on here and use the first 2 to pay for the card. So I better get that out of the way before before, what was the Reverend's name? From Deceiving the Flock.
It's Reverend Finley.
Finley, thank you. Finley. Alright, so... hosting. Let's get that out of the way.
Alright, so I have Assassinated, I have Clone, I have Pete Calcani, Deceiving the
Oh my god, you're
Deceiving the
just going
Flock.
after the witnesses here. Good lord.
I have Poltergeist Attacks, I have Frohiki and Dr. Alexander Ivanov.
Okay, so and as we learned in recent time, just recently, I can only select a conspiracy card.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we can't. I guess I couldn't put it on the one you just drew, right? From Blue Plate. Is that right?
No, you could. If you wanted to.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. On the, if anything else, by seeing your hand, it kind of puts me a little bit of a comfort because it doesn't really look like you have anything to stop me other than that adversary, as long as I'm not playing an occult investigation activator. So I'm good on that front. All right, well, moving on to case assignment then. We are going to be going to Coastal Northwest Oregon, which is an affiliation keyword site. Okay, so Mulder's we're gonna use one of Mulder's 2 tokens to pay for that. I would ask if you have any cards you wish to play on me, but as we saw,
no, as you've seen, I don't have any cards to play, so you are free to ask your question.
All right. Okay. Let's obviously we're gonna be asking an affiliation question this time. So Guillaume, by any chance, is your X-Files affiliation government?
No, it is not.
I'm actually a little relieved. All right, so we move on to debriefing.
No, I did pick my X-File randomly, so...
You did? Okay.
Yeah. I figured I'd be surprised by whatever power that I will get, so... I think we're in debriefing, so...
Oh, yeah, you got 7.
I have 7 as well. Yeah.
Yes, we're passing it over to you, and let's see what you got for me this round.
Okay, my free card. I'm going to generate my res, which is back to 7. So that's 11. And I'm going to buy 3 cards.
I'm going to sell Hospital Crash Cart for 4. And of that 4, I will buy 1 card and add 3 to my conspiracy pool.
Okay, no healing, no requisition, and for deployment, I'm going to be keeping everybody where they are.
Okay.
For case assignment, we're going to go to the Washington Monument where you've previously been, and I'm going
guys
to
on
be
the way out.
I'm going to be using Karen's token to pay for the card since it has keyword behavioral. So it's behavioral 5+, observation 5+, motive or result question.
Motive or result, huh? Let's do 2 bluffs for now. See how we do.
Everyone is going to the site.
Everyone is going.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if this is going to work out then, as I hoped. All right. So the first one is Nasty Surprise. Play to add 5 tokens to your pool. The cost of the card being 2 because it was face down means I will add 3 for a total of 16. So far, so good.
Yeah.
The second bluff, brace yourself, is the Mailman.
Yeah, the Mailman.
Play this card to allow you to move 1 game effect token from any one card to another immediately. This may not take a card above the normal number of tokens allowed. Okay, I'll take Kresge's then.
Yeah. Good thing I did send him to this.
Yeah, so I will... add Kresge. I'll take Kresge's token and I'm going to give it back to Hosteen. And with any luck, I might be able to, make use of that in the next round. Now this is kind of where I may have to submit to defeat because I kind of have something, but I think. All right, your total long range is what?
11.
Yeah, good lord, that's a lot of combat. My adversaries are going to be largely ineffective. Again, screw it. You take the question. You get it. I'm not gonna play anything.
Oh, cool.
Just as a reward for bearing with me through all of that, I'm just giving it. I'll give it to you.
I think this might be my only chance to ask a question, given as this goes. So
don't say that. I would be, if that's the case, I would be very surprised.
Alright, so I can either ask a motive or a result question, so I guess at this point it doesn't really matter which
motive
one
or
I
result.
ask.
Yep.
Okay, so is your motive ideology?
It is not.
Okay. That's done. The site is discarded, and I have moving to debriefing phase. I have a lot of discarding to do.
Ooh. I have 6, so yeah, keeping them for all the good that they just did.
Alright, so I'm discarding Pete Kilkenny, assassinated and deceiving the flock.
Witnesses are surprisingly not making a play on the field as of late. Kind of going for a different strategy, obviously. Seemingly thus far, but I don't know. I'll be honest. I think the reason I haven't called forth is partly because I don't have as much res. Second being I'm a little less sure-footed about this deck, so I'm like, I might need Manners' token, maybe to negate something else you might have for me. So if anything, it's probably better just to save it. Without further ado, we'll pass it back to me, and I will draw my free card to begin the briefing phase. Let's just get Mulder's 2 and by 1 this time, and then I will add. Sorry, normally I was about to say 3, but I'm not working with 6, so I bought Mulder's 2, 1, and that only leaves me with 2 to add to the pool because I'm only working with 5, not 6 like I'm generally used to. But I do have my friend in the FBI tokens for worth 2, so I'll put those down as well. Thank goodness that card came up. I do not have anyone in need of healing at this time.
Hold on, I didn't sell my
Guillaume
card.
isn't sold. How shameful of me. Go ahead, Guillaume. Sell.
Alright, so I'm going to be selling the second desktop computer for 4, General Thomas Callahan for 4, and Dr. Ivanov for 3. 11. Puts me up to 15. And I am going to buy 5 cards.
What say we get this out of the way? Deep throat.
Alright, well...
And he may not be negated unless you're sitting on a deny everything. Finally,
Okay,
where were you
yeah.
in my last couple of games? Good lord, this guy has not come up in ages for me, it feels like.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Alright, so I think because I think I might just ask an affiliation question. I think that would narrow down the most. Where's my pen? Oh, there it is. Okay. Why did I put it back? Let's say we ask Guillaume, is by any chance your X-Files affiliation alien?
No, it is not.
It is not. I am relieved to be not getting the correct characteristics for a change. And that only happens during X-File powers. Alright, so back in this. Nothing to requisition. I will be deploying all of the team as they are. And we will be taking a little trip to New England, specifically Alistair Crowley High School in Milford Haven, New Hampshire. This is a multi-site, Guillaume, for it has the keywords affiliation, result, occult investigation, and observation. And because Karen Kosif pays for observation cards, she will be using her 1 token this round to pay for the site.
No bluffs.
Yield to any bluffs you might have.
No bluffs.
No bluffs, huh?
No bluffs.
No bluffs. All right. Well, got anything else for me? Well, no. Before you, I should ask that. Maybe I ought to hosting this just to, just to be sure. Probably should have done that before I asked if you had bluffs. But well, what do you got?
Brace yourself for disappointment because I don't have
you have at least 1 CP card.
So I have fingerprints, fingernail scrapings, shotgun, University of Maryland, written report, Frohi key. So I only have 3 CP cards.
Okay,
so
as long as you have a CP card.
Yeah, I have the Rejuvenating Caves, I have Clone, and I have Poltergeist Attack.
Oh gosh, this is an occult investigation. You tend to play those on me anyway, but I have Chuck Burke. I'm feeling Rejuvenating Caves because that would at least offset some of your conspiracy points. Because I feel Rejuvenating Caves. Let's do it.
Alright.
Alright.
So I would like to I'm going to play the Poltergeist. I know you can negate it, but I have too many cards.
Out of the way?
Yeah.
Alright, Chuck it is. Alright, he is negated. Was it worth it? Shall we move on then?
Yes.
Alright, so I believe I am entitled to a affiliation or result question.
So which one would it be?
Well, I still have yet to figure out your X-Files affiliation, so I think I don't know why I keep putting my marker back in the cup, but yes, I'm gonna need it. I think I'm gonna keep trying to tackle your X-Files affiliation. But then again, what are the other result powers? I know death. And you chose random, so
yeah.
Anyway, let's just go for affiliation because that is going to scratch off the most possibilities. Guillaume, is by any chance your X-File primordial?
No.
3 affiliation questions in, and I still have yet to narrow it down. Good lord! So I get 1 more affiliation, I'm gonna know it. Way or
There are many conspiracy cards in that deck, and so far, none of the ones that came up proved to be useful. So, yeah.
So far, shall we debrief?
Yeah, I have one card to discard, and I'm going to be discarding the caves because at this point I do not want to give you any more opportunity to ask a question.
I'm gonna discard Simon Gates because I can't seem to get past your guys' your long range, unfortunately.
Okay, so I have 7 as well. So my turn. I'm going to draw my free card. Okay. And I'm going to generate my res, which is 7, so that's 15. And I'm going to buy... Well, you know what? I'm going to buy 6.
Got quite a bit of res.
Yeah, I'm going to buy 6 cards. Okay, and before I pass it over to you, I'm going to play friend in the FBI. So I'm going to be putting 8 tokens on that one.
I'm just gonna sell 1, the white buffalo, for 4. I'm gonna add 1 to my conspiracy pool and draw 3.
Okay, so no healing, no requisition. Okay, so deployment, everyone stays where they are, and okay, I'm going to be playing 2 sites. I'm going to be playing University of Maryland, Criminal Investigation and Result Question that cost 2. I'm going to use Colton's token to pay for 1, paying 1 for the other one, and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 House, Dudley, Arkansas, for 1. It's a behavioral site and subterfuge. I'm going to be using Karen's token to pay for that one.
1 bluff we'll put on the University of Maryland.
Alright. So
No, we'll put it on the 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 House.
Okay, so we have Colton, Rich, and Kresge going to the University of Maryland, and we have Nemhauser, Kosef, and Patterson going to 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 House. We'll investigate University of Maryland first.
And that one has a result activator, is that correct?
Yeah.
I will play Darkness Falls for 6, which has an activator of result sight. And that will take my conspiracy pool down to 11. Unless a healing card is played immediately, and the card results in 1 point being healed, move the agent to the hospital. The agent must stay in the hospital for the next turn.
Okay. No, I can't negate that card.
Let's send Agent Rich over to the hospital.
Okay.
And I believe that takes you just shy of the necessary criminal investigation to investigate that site, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
At the very least, I got 1 down. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to do much about the other one. Yeah, you got me on this one. I really want to, but I haven't even.
There's the bluff.
This one.
Yeah.
Sorry, but the bluff isn't going to make much of a difference. It's intruder countermeasures. Play to add 2 to your pool immediately. So I'm gonna just face down, so I get that. That takes my conspiracy pool up to 13. But again, I think even with the added resources, it's not going to make much of a difference. Yeah, no, I can't figure out a way to stop that investigation, unfortunately. So I yield to your question. Which one will you be choosing from that multi-site?
So either affiliation or motive. Is your motive survival?
It is. It is indeed. Which means my X-File has thus gained the following ability. Place 1 damage token on any one of your opponent's agents, my choice, once per turn during the healing phase. The same agent may not be damaged on consecutive turns. So that is the first X-File power that we have seen of this game this evening.
So I have you down to 10. So yeah, no, I'm not going to be asking to be taking a crack at your X-File because you have me down, I think, to 9. So
That is correct.
yeah, no.
We're evenly paced.
So I have a lot of discarding to do.
I do not, for I have 7.
Okay, so I'm discarding Return Report. I'm discarding Fingernail Scrapings. You've got a tail, which I wanted to use for your friend in the FBI, but you know, and since I played it last game, I am going to discard Too Close to the Truth.
Wow, that is surprisingly generous of you. I might just have to let you. I'll just be like, you know what, you can win.
It's not a card that I would want to play, you know, during every game. It is
Just lifted a weight off of my shoulders right now. All right, so let's pass it back to me. I will draw my free card, get Mulder's 2, and then add 3 plus the 2 from friend in the FBI for a total of 5. Yeah, well, to a total of 9. Up from 4 to 9. And I yield to you to sell at your leisure.
so selling the shotgun for 6, Dr. Blockhead for 2, and fingerprints for 2, so that's 10. Puts me at 17. And I'll be buying 5 cards. Yeah, 5 cards.
5 cards it is. And yeah, because you don't have to discard.
I still haven't looked at the card. I'm still oh, you're at 6.
So I have yet to need to heal anyone, and I do not have anything to requisition because these guys are all out in the field. So we will keep the team deployed as is, and we'll be assigning them to a case in Arecibo, Puerto Rico. Affiliation and method, Guillaume. Alien investigation and computer. And I will use one of Mulder's tokens to pay for it.
I'll be playing 1 bluff.
Let's see it.
It's a nasty surprise.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay.
So what else you got for me?
I have sinus cavity implant.
Yeah.
This is the object described by Billy Miles as a communication device. I removed it from the exhumed body. I kept it in my pocket. It was the only piece of evidence not destroyed in the fire. I ran a lab test on it. The material could not be identified.
All right.
I did not want to take the chance that you'd have alien discretion and.
But I do. All right. But yes, alien discretion. I will pay 2 to get rid of that one. Lord knows I don't have a whole lot of res to go around with this particular team, and I need every bit of it. All right, so what else you got? Oh, him.
I paid and paid. Yeah, and I paid for it. So section chief mag.
I hate to do this, but I'm gonna have to Erlenmeyer flask that particular bluff. So Erlenmeyer flask, for the benefit of our audience, negates any one card played against your team during a bureaucracy or alien investigation skill check, for which this is an alien investigation. So for the cost of 4, that takes my resource pool down to 3. Not great, but I'm still in the game thus far.
Well, that's all I had for you.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I was running out of possibilities to get around you. All right, so once again, I am faced with either an affiliation question or another question, and I feel like I'm destined to figure out this affiliation, so one way or the other, I'm gonna know it upon asking this last affiliation, which by this point, if I get it wrong, I guess it's implied that I know what it is, and then therefore you would be able to play them, right?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to remove one of Rich's token during the previous. Okay.
I was like, I think I might be putting a token right back on him. I don't know. I'm feeling like knocking out the out. I want to know the affiliation. I really do. And one way or the other, I'm gonna know it. All right. So Guillaume, is by any chance your X-Files affiliation occult?
No, it isn't.
But it's still the fact that I asked 4 and I still don't get it right is what makes it so funny, though. So you are evolutionary by process of elimination, which means you can play evolutionary adversaries regardless of what the site activator restriction is. So bully for you. Right. But I do have you narrowed down to 4.
Yeah.
See, had you not chosen randomly, I might have been able to big brain this and think, okay, which of these powers would he like to see come up? But you chose randomly. I'm going to refrain from asking an identity question at this time, and I will yield to Guillaume to discard any cards he may wish to, for I am sitting on 7, and I do not need to discard.
And I'm sitting at 7 as well.
So far my team is living up to expectations, but for which I didn't really set a high one at this point. I'm just missing Skinner so much, is what it boils down to. Alright, so let's pass it back to you.
Alright, my free card, resource, which is 6 now. That's 14. And I'm going to be playing Hard Evidence for 2, which will allow me to add 3. I'm going to buy 4 cards. 17, okay. And back to you.
Alright, I will be selling 2 cards, the Alien Stiletto for 5, and the Thinker for 5 for 10, and I think of that 10 I will buy 7 cards and add 3 to my resource, or to my conspiracy pool, for a total of 16. We're coming to your healing phase now, so let's add a damage token to Agent Patterson.
He's going to the hospital. I'm removing 2 from Rich. He stays in the hospital until the end of this turn.
And actually, for the use of that particular X-File power, the fact that playing it on him actually took him to the hospital just because he was already sitting on 4 damage at that point.
Yeah, as soon as we revealed that power, I was like, okay, Patterson is gone for sure. And I forgot to use my tokens from Friend in the FBI. Do you object to me using?
Go for it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, so we move on to your requisitioning phase, but I'm assuming you probably don't have any field equipment.
No requisition. And deployment, I'm going to be keeping everybody in the field. We're moving on to case assignment phase, and we are going to Broad Street, Philadelphia, which is criminal investigation and method question, and I'll use Colton's token to pay and 1 from my resource to pay for the rest. So criminal investigation and method question.
2 bluffs.
I'm sending everyone. Let's see the bluffs.
Actually, I'm going to play this one first. Mass Grave. Play this card to immediately add 1 conspiracy point to my pool for every 2 resource tokens you spend at this site.
Okay.
All right, ready for the second one?
Yes.
It is Detective Tony Fiore, for which I will be paying 1 to force you to discard 2 cards at random from your hand immediately.
I'll take the chance. Well, there are a few that I would like to keep, but
I know of one especially I would like to rid your hand of.
do you want me to point, or do you know which
Actually,
one?
the last 2 that you set down at the very end.
These
that
2?
one and that one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping maybe you had your RP cards tucked away at the back. Yes!
So one Frohickey
Yes!
and 1 Crooked Man.
Boom! Frohickey is down. That card has been holding me back for a good chunk of this.
I should have sold him.
Nice. Excellent. I'm feeling good. This was a method site, is that correct?
Yes.
I will be playing Squeeze, which has an activator of method site. Squeeze, which is in reference to Eugene Victor Toombs, has a game effect which states the long-range combat round is skipped. So we go right to close range, for which you have a grand total of what amongst your team of 4?
6.
6, which is enough to defeat him. I am going to play a combat card.
Oh!
Whoa! What? You heard me right. We're going to play a combat card, and it is Illusionary Foe for a total of 4, which takes my conspiracy pool down to 11. Now, for the benefit of our audience, which includes Guillaume, because he's probably drawn a blank on what that card does, it has a game effect that sets play on an occult or evolutionary adversary to negate all damage allocated to that adversary this round.
Wow.
Which means all of that close range you just dealt to him has been negated. Which means he is free to inflict 3 close range combat onto Karen Kosov, who will be going... Actually, no, we'll start with Colton. I want to do Colton first, then Kosov the next round.
Okay, so Colton is gone.
And so now, because all of Toombs' damage got negated, he still has a grand total of 5 health. And so now I will discard that combat card, and we go into another round of close range. And Eugene Toombs is going to inflict another 3 for close range. How much close range does your remaining agents have?
Well, they have 4.
Ooh.
So
Toombs
yeah.
is still in this. So he's going to inflict 3 onto Karen Kosov, and she is going to be taking a little stroll over to the hospital, alas, by ambulance.
The fight continues, so
Yep.
Karen has 3 damage. And she's gone.
And Toombs has only 1 health, 1 sliver of health remaining, for which your team is going to deal enough between the 2 of them. Cressy's got 2, and I believe...
1, he has 1, yeah.
So that's more than enough to knock him out. But not before he takes 1 last punch, and he will inflict that upon Agent Nemhauser.
Alright, Nemhauser takes 3 damage. And there you go.
Holy smokes. That
was
was
brutal.
Epic combat.
Oh,
For a
yeah.
guy who's got only a close range of 3, I believe I have taken enough of your team's criminal investigation skill to make this site unviable.
So, which is why now I'm going to be playing now.
Now
with
you
Smoke
can
and
play
Mirror.
that card. Yeah, what are the keywords on that card? I almost feel bad playing this card now.
Well, I'm sure you're going to negate it or something, so...
Well, not negate it, but I'm going to be playing Detective Thompson for the full cost to change your site prerequisite to Bureaucracy 3. And that's going to take you down to 8. And the other thing is that the cost of this guy, you played smoke and mirrors, and that was it.
Yeah.
But I almost made a mistake right there. I have to add it to my conspiracy pool. Just one. Oh no, 2, because you paid 5.
I'm going to be playing the Thinker. So I'm going to pay for the Thinker, 4, and I'm going to change his Bluff to event. And
Okay.
I'm going to play for Ricky.
Okay. Wait, didn't we discarded him? Oh, you had 2 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬s in your
Yes,
hand?
I had
Oh
2.
my
Yeah.
gosh. Holy cow. I cannot get rid of that guy. Oh, man. All right. Well, that brings you down to
1.
1.
Which actually might be worse, because if you do negate that, then I'll be in a worse situation than if I had not played it.
Yeah.
But at least I know.
𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 costs 3, right?
Yes.
So because of Mass Grave, I get another 2. Or I get another 1 because you
1.
played... because for every 2 that you spend. So wait, smoke... Oh, no, actually, because you spent a total of 8. Smoke
So
and
you
mirrors.
add 4.
Yeah.
So you can add 4.
Yeah. All right. At least I'm getting...
So that one is a good card.
That is a damn good card. I think generally it's like, maybe you might play 1 card per round, but no. This is an epic round here we got going on here, most of which is getting cut because of
Oh, yeah.
trying to figure out the... All right. So, okay. All right. You are without 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬s at this point. Because I think I've got some... Yeah, I know for a fact I've got something here. This is going to be... Hey, for what it's worth, this is going to be awesome. I promise you. You'll be like, much as I hate this, I do like how this played out.
I think this is the most vicious round that we've ever played.
This is, but it's so awesome, though. This is going to be great. Brace yourself for this. Okay. I am going to play 𝐗 vois 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, which translates to I see something below.
Je crois que c'est un avion de l'escadron.
By the way, how did I do on that pronunciation?
It's better than Oublit.
Oublit, yeah. So this is a French promo card that was included with the 1013 edition?
Yes, but actually it's funny because it's a French promo code and I have no idea where it was ever published in France.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong along the way. So I will play this card to search through my bureau deck and draw any keyword alien or alien investigation card. I will show that card to Guillaume, and then I will shuffle my bureau deck. How did I do on that?
Perfect.
Excellent. All right. So I'm going to be looking for either a keyword alien or alien investigation card. Now this card, as we noted, because I played it during my conspiracy round, it is a purple card. So that is going to cost me 2. So that takes my conspiracy pool down from 12 to 10.
I remember when I saw that card in an X-Files official magazine, and I was so excited because I thought for sure that an official French version of the game was coming, and of course it never did.
I have pulled a card, and let me... shoot, now I gotta shuffle the deck, because even after all this game, there's still so much freaking deck left to choose from. Alright. Oh, jeez, I probably bent that a lot harder than I intended to. Alright, it's shuffled. It's shuffled enough for my liking. So, can you take it... yeah, shoot, those were from the bottom of that. Okay. So would you like to take a guess? It's a long shot, but would you like to take a guess at which card I pulled? It's a card that has a keyword alien or alien investigation. That's your hint.
Well, I'd say an adversary then, but...
Nope. Unexplainable time loss. which does have a keyword of alien, and so I'll be paying 5 for that. And we're gonna bring this epically prolonged round to an immediate close.
I think it's the longest turn that we've ever played, the most vicious one. I have 4 agents in the hospital, well, 2 from tombs. Yeah, that's insane. So Smokes and Mirror discarded, and as well as this one.
And if I'm going to discard Mass Grave, which had I not had Mass Grave, my conspiracy pool would be 0 at this point because I got 5. 6? No, 5. How many cards did you play?
I think you got 6.
Yeah, so I got 4. 6. Actually, I would have had 1 at the very end of this. So. Right? Did I do the math right? Because it's 1 for every 2 that you play, so you played a total of 8, right?
I pay, 8 for that, and then you got 2 for Smoke and Mirrors.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Leaving that as it is, but yeah, that was an awesome round. Yeah, I don't care how the rest of this game goes. I mean, that was an amazing round. Just the amount of cards being played. And I can't believe I still am sitting on 6 cards. You would think I'd played my entire hand. Oh, you have a lot of cards too. So
I have 5.
It seems like we played way more cards that round, though. And
Unexplainable time loss. It does make sense that it would have the keyword alien, but I don't know. It never registered to me since it requires a science skill check. But yeah, alien makes total sense.
It does. Yeah, it does. So same with sinus cavity because it's an alien implant and all that. So good lord, you're gonna have a lot of healing to do when it passes back to you.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's pass this back to me, and let's see if we can top that round. I somehow doubt it. I'm sitting on very little res at this point, so I'm thinking I'm gonna take my free card and. My 2 from Mulder, and I think I'm going to just give the rest to my to my resource pool. So that will be 6. It'll be 3 from the team, and then 2 from friend in the FBI for 8. And I have 2 remaining on friend in the FBI, a measly 2. The card is what's gotten me through this game as far as resource points go. And every bit of it to get through this next one, I have a feeling. All right, what do you got? What do you got to sell?
Driving in New York City, so that's 3. I was planning on maybe selling Smoke and Mirror for 5, but that's not an option anymore. So 3, 11. I'm going to buy 4 cards.
I do not have anyone to heal, and I do not have any equipment to requisition, so we will move on to deploying. At this point, we could be maybe looking at a final investigation, I don't know. So what we'll do is we'll keep all of the team deployed in any event, and it's not the ideal site to investigate. But it's what I got. We're going to be going to Albert Hostein's neighborhood, Farmington, New Mexico, which is a multi-site with the keywords motive, method, alien investigation, and computer. And it's probably a safe bet I'm going for the alien investigation portion of that.
I'm going to be playing 1 bluff.
1 bluff. Let's see it.
It's the mailman. It's the only thing I can do, so 3.
Question is, which token do you want?
Did you pay for the site?
Oh, I did not. So I'll use Mulder's last one. And you would take manners, unless I should feel so inclined to play Langley. Boom.
I have nothing to play.
Oh, no. We're not going to go out with a whimper. You got to have something. No. Okay. I almost kind of regret playing Langley now and that. All right. Well, either way, in that case, I will. Well, I'll play that card after the fact. Not quite there yet. Oh, by the way, what were the mailman's keywords?
Bluff.
you're gonna find out which card, unless you've already figured out which card I've been sitting on this whole time. All right, so we're down to only 4 X-Files. I am allowed to ask a motive or method question. I think no matter how I slice it, I'm probably gonna only wind up scratching off 1. Is your X-Files method violence? It's gonna be yes.
It is not.
You're kidding me. Are you serious? Well, in that case, you're Dr. Banton and his shadow.
Yes, I am. I was sure you were going to ask, is it violence? And I knew you would. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Finally bested you in a round of X-File powers, but it took a hell of a lot of work. Great game. Outstanding. I think this was one for the books easily. I know I say that after a lot of games, but just that one round alone, combat cards, French promo cards, a whole lot of 10-13 bluffs.
10-13 bluffs, yeah.
I made bank on that mass grave in that one round. So,
yeah, it might be worth taking a second look at those.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're considering those bluffs.
But, okay, so the card that I've been holding on to that I've been asking keywords about this whole time was Hell Money, to negate the keyword phenomena card for 4. And so just trying to find that phenomena card that you were going to play on me, and I was just like, where is it? But none of the cards you were really playing had that, except for there was one, but I didn't want to pay it because it would have taken my resource pool to 0.
Looking at my deck, I also did add Lula Phillips to my deck. Well, didn't get to play her, but
so well. Do you want to take a guess at what my X-File is? I know you got about 10 to choose from.
Right, so if I had guessed after my last question, I would have said, not knowing what, are you the Swarm?
Nope.
Oh, I was going to say Eugene Victor Toons, but that was my guess for last Saturday's game, so...
It was. He came up who was David had him, right?
Yes.
Or did I? Yeah, David had him.
Yes, David had him, yeah.
But I don't generally use him because evolutionary and death are just too commonly asked in the course of the question. But here's the reason I chose him. Because I stacked the deck with combat cards. I was banking on you figuring out my X-Files result fairly early, because it's like people generally go with death because there's so many. If you get a result successfully, you go death usually. But you didn't. You picked a different one. What did you pick? Insanity or something? Or
actually, I never asked a result question.
Oh, okay. You investigated, but I hit you with like Darkness Falls or something like that. So yeah, I stacked the deck with combat cards because I was like, okay, if he figures it out, my result, then I can start playing those combat cards for free. And I made sure that the majority of them were going to be geared towards evolutionary, which was Tombs, because I was banking on you maybe figuring out his affiliation, and therefore I get to play a lot of evolutionary adversaries. So I had a whole bunch of evolutionary adversaries in here. And then I put, there's always a lot of occult adversaries to choose from. So Joseph Patnick is the only non-occult, non-evolutionary adversary in the deck. There's no alien, there's no government adversaries in here. I think that was my first combat card I ever played I never sold. I always sell them. I usually don't even have them, but I would usually sell them anyway.
There's still hope for combat cards then.
There is. What I'm running into is that your team is so strong in its long range or even its close range, and that's generally the case. Whether it be you or David or Nathan, I mean, because we're calling them all out to the field, so we're getting the full force of their combat skills, which is generally going to take out an adversary in the first round. Now, if the adversary has no long range to contribute, which that's the case with the Manitou, with the zombie, there's a lot of them that don't really deal anything in long range, and so you're kind of screwed in the sense you're going to lose him. You're going to pay to play him, and he's not even going to get to deal any damage.
Okay, good. So I was going to say, while you have your binder, I had a question about a bluff card from 10-13.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I understand the effect correctly. It's a stoner chicken dude.
Oh, I kind of almost thought about that one, because what happened in our last game when you played the site, I think it was Olympic National Forest, and I put 2 bluffs on it, and you decided not to investigate it, so we set it aside. So if I had Stoner Chicken Dude, I could play it face down because it only costs 1, and then I would have been able to take one of those bluffs. I think it says only 1, right? Not all. It's 1 bluff assigned
But
to a
it says move up to 2 bluffs.
Oh, up to
But
2.
The
So
question is,
both of those 2 bluffs, which, as you recall, they were just like a nasty surprise, intruder countermeasures program, but it still would have gotten me CP. So in that instance where you decided not to investigate Olympic National Forest, and I had to put those 2 bluffs aside until you decided eventually to come back to it, if I had Stoner Chicken Dude at any point, I could have played them on another site investigation later on, and then I would have been allowed to take those 2 from Olympic National, move them over to whatever site you were currently investigating at that point, and then use them on that site at that point.
and in that situation, when it was my turn as the conspiracy player, could I have played Stoner Chicken Dude and taken the 2 bluffs from my site to put them on your site?
Well,
because that's basically what 𝐗-𝐁 does. 𝐗-𝐁 says that you can take any bluff card from one site to another site. So I know that with 𝐗-𝐁 you can take cards from my site to your site. But
no, that's a good question, because now
Stoner Chicken Dude is not worded the same way as 𝐗-𝐁, so that's why I was questioning that.
Yeah, and that's a question about 𝐗-𝐁, because I know Nathan used it once, but the way you're talking about it, though,
I've used 𝐗-𝐁 during my first game with Nathan, and it's because specifically in the FAQ it did explain the card, and you can take bluffs from one of your sites and use them on your opponent's side. On 𝐗-𝐁 you can, but can you still do that on Stoner Chicken Dude?
Well, feasibly. Let's go back and read the fine print on that one. It kind of seems like it's a possibility. Move up to 2 bluffs to a different site in play. So the site has to to a different site in play. Sounds like it. It seems to be that you can, but now I'm trying to distinguish the wording from 𝐗-𝐁, though. You have to pay for every bluff you move, whereas Stoner Chicken Dude, it's limiting you to 2. So that's kind of a more appealing card because of the cost factor. It's just like 1 less, but still. And because you can play it face down and it's free, whereas you can't with 𝐗-𝐁. Except 𝐗-𝐁 has that added condition: if at the end of the investigation the site is left with no bluffs attached, discard it. Whereas Stoner Chicken Dude, it doesn't have that condition added to it. Kind of makes Stoner Chicken Dude a little bit more desirable of a card, because for one,
because 𝐗-𝐁 says you can also put the card back into the owner's hands, but why would you do that?
Oh yeah, or back. Oh yeah, you can't do that with the other one. But yeah, the act of moving cards from one site to another, it's pretty much the same. All right, so that about wraps it up here. I want to thank Guillaume for a great game. This is definitely one for the books, and I'm going to have a lot of fun editing this together. Guillaume, you are a worthy adversary.
That second to last round was the most vicious round that I've ever played, and it went on forever, but great cards that we had never seen before, so I had a lot of fun playing that game. Yeah.
I think the viewers who watch this edited video are going to maybe consider some of these cards that they may have just previously ignored, including the combat cards as well, and I'm looking forward to getting some feedback on this one. And I thank you for being a part of that. Always a pleasure having you on the channel.
Always a pleasure playing with you.
Let us know what you want to see. If you want to see more Powers games in the future, Guillaume and I would be happy to play a few more if you guys want to see that. So just, let us know. Drop a comment. And that, I'll sign us off. So thanks again, Guillaume, and we'll see you guys next time on the next edition of Alien Investigations.